shadow and the light relationship. Okay, and the bear over here should first coming down, divide this light side and the shadow side. Now I'm going to show you how I would do this portrait painting in watercolor. You're going to see some ad through this video lesson. Every click in the ad would generate some small revenue to grow this channel. You can use the link in the video descriptions. Click the link to join us in Patreon. In Patreon, you can watch the full video without any ad. Let's start this painting demonstration. Today I'm going to use this Artisar Expert watercolor pad. It's 140 pounds. We're going to start product giveaway very soon. If in the video I say this is a product giveaway video, after you watch the video, leave a comment. If you are one of the first 20 people, and you would enter into the drawing for one of the 2 product giveaways in that video. And we're going to do the product giveaways through the rest of the year. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and turn on notification so that when my next video come out, you will be notified. If you have not, check on the bell for the notifications. When a new video come out, you won't see it in the same day. For this painting, I'm going to use horizontal orientation. First, I'm going to use graphite pencil. It's a B. Do a little planning. And I'm going to set the face in here. I'm going to move the head a little bit lower. First, take care of the bigger composition first. And don't see any details. There's a shoulder over here. This is how wide the shoulder, and where the shoulder would be on this side, coming almost like a angular line coming down like this. It's very easy if you don't get distracted by the details at the beginning. And we don't need to draw all the small details in this planning process. Just get an idea how you are going to paint, how you are going to compose it. Sometimes you don't have to include all the information from the reference, and you maybe just pick what you need to compose your own picture. What I'm trying to focus on in this painting demonstration, I want to show you how to find the visual information, the visual elements, the line and the shape to compose this painting. So the shoulder a little bit longer over here. That's good. Now you see the composition is already there. It's already pretty good. I'm going to leave some dark color over here and have some warm color in the background. It's very good. I think the composition is pretty good. The reference, I have more space on the right hand side in the background. I don't need that. I have a lot more interesting going on the right side too. So if you have problem finding the proportion, I have many portrait video, portrait drawing, portrait watercolor painting lessons on how to find the proportion. So go take a look at those videos. If you remember, just go into the enjoying art, go under the portrait drawing section. You can find all those useful lessons to help you. So now I established this the top of the head, this the chin. Before I go any further, I want to measure to see from the top to the chin relate to the width of the face. That is very critical. From the left side to the inside of the ear, it looks like coming up here. That's just the inside, the width over here. From the chin coming up here That's the width from the side of the face over here. Now I find the inside the ear over here, and that's the outside of the ear, like it look like a triangle. From the eyebrows to the chin, the middle, actually the nose, the bottom of the nose. Is that start from big, like I say, first you're going to make sure that the width and the height in the correct proportion. And then after that, and you're going to divide the vertical space and then the horizontal space so you can find the proportion. Okay, now if the eyebrows over here, the nose, the bottom of the nose, right over here, the tip of the nose a little bit lower, like that. That's good. Now when you see there is a horizontally from here to here, I can divide into 3. 1. That's the corner of the eye. I can see that's the middle of the nose here, the nose ridge. And now I can find their pretty big shape right under the eye over here has a bigger shape. Now we use the terminology. Shape is a big, important visual element, like that. And then the nose over here, and this side of the shape, that you can see the shadow side of the shape starting over here, right? And then on this side, this is all in the shadow. In this area, what you see is a triangle. It looks like this is for the eye. So when you see just the simple shape, if something you cannot see clearly, you don't have to make it up. Compare over here to here, actually very interesting. You see the corner of the nose? You look at the reference, half from here to the side. And if you find that, it's very helpful. You can find this would be the nose. Like that. Now find the nose. That's the location of the nose. If you don't want to see me drawing, you can skip through all the way to the painting. But drawing is a very important process. And usually, regularly, I just directly draw with watercolor. But some of our members, they still like to draw with graphite pencil. That's the reason I'm using graphite pencil to do the printing in this demonstration. Okay, that is good. I'm gonna find there's the shape over here, a little catch the shadow from the eyeglass frame. And look at that, this side of the eyeglass is about here. That's good. Like that. Now we find this eyeglass. And now the lid of the eyeglass is pointing to this direction. And now we can find the top of the ear. You can see from here, draw this kind of line angle. And you can find this right over here. This is the ear. And what's the bottom? The bottom, you can draw the angle. The angular line from the corner of the nose coming up this direction. You can use it if you have this reference download on your computer. For members, you can print it out and you can use the ruler to do the measurement and connection. And now in the middle of the top of the ear over here and coming up over here, so this is the top of the head coming up like that. That's good. Now from here coming up, and this is the forehead. Let's take a look And because I add the top of the head is actually not seen in the photo reference. Right over there. It's good. Now we got the big composition. The big shape for the face is already in a pretty good shape, already defined it. On the side of the nose, under the cheek, and that's a triangle. You can see that triangle shape over here. And then coming on this side, the mouth, you can draw a small triangle like this, coming all the way here. If you don't see the simple shape, like this, a triangle, right? So this is for the mouth. And then underneath, there's the bear over here, there's the shape, and the bottom has quite a bit of reflected light and have this areas pretty light. So this kind of observation process, it prepare you to know what elements that you're going to use and how you're going to create the likeness and personality in the watercolor painting. And now looking at the ear, inside the ear, those shape is considered smaller shape. So I'm gonna put this a little shape like the little moon shape, right? This very easy because you already know the location of their ear. There is a friend on YouTube and asked me questions. You always start from bigger to smaller. And can you, or is possible to start from smaller details first and then come to the bigger shape? Is that possible to do that? Yes, and if you already have the whole composition in your mind, or you already done that exercise before in a drawing somehow. So you already know the location of all the things, and you already know how all the colors and shape, like say in the whole shadow area here, compared to the light side, you see all the relationship already, and then it's just fine. Just go inside to paint the smaller shape because you know that smaller shape, the smaller details, how it's going to relate to the bigger picture. Because at the end, a good painting is a good composition. It's a good color balance. It's just not about how you draw that line in the eye. Finding those connections is pretty hard. And if you do the easy one first, and then try to create the balance in the painting, yeah, it's possible, but it's much harder. I'd rather to start from the bigger shape and finding the bigger connection and then coming into the smaller, because if you draw the eye, painting the eye and the nose and the mouth in the wrong place, even though they look really, really good realistically, the local relationship is really good. But when you try to balance the bigger shape, and you see that all those small things you have to erase or change in order to finish the final painting. In that case, you will feel very frustrated because you have to destroy the work that is not cohesive with the entire painting. I will continue to talk more about what is the proper process that I found in my own experiment. And I would not say there's only draw and paint like me, it is the only way to make good picture. I never said that, and I would not say this. But you need to find your own process that work for you, especially help you to express. If you have that process and you want to fine-tune it by practicing and examine it again and again, and you can find it. To me, what works best, my artwork is not about copying the photo, and I taking reference from the photo, and in the painting process I would modify it and change it, and that involved with the control of the entire painting, how you were going to change the elements and change the color and create a new balance. I think this drawing process is pretty good, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little cleanup over here. You don't have to erase all the pencil mark, because after the painting the pencil mark may not really stick out or still that much visible, because after you have your painting finished. Okay, I think this is good, and I'm going to start my painting. It's the same thing. When you are doing the painting, would you start from the eye, the nose, and the smaller areas? You can try it to see what it works for you. But for me, it's always work better if I create the bigger shape first, and it's called start from the masses, blocking into the big connection, the bigger shape, before going into the smaller area. Okay, I'm going to use a bigger brush, and you may feel a little intimidated or scared by this 1-inch flat brush. It's very economic. This brush is not expensive. You already know I usually only use the 3 primary colors, but this is not only colors that you can use. You can use a full set of color, and it's totally up to you. And by the way, I received this package of watercolor paints. It's 60 watercolors, and from Tizar. It's a premium watercolor. This is great. And there's a list of all the color over here. And can you use 60 colors? I'm going to do a whole series of watercolor painting, landscape, portrait with this set of color. But each time I'm going to take 2 or 3 colors from the 60 color set. This box of paints is also going to be our future product giveaway. So again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and turn on notification so you will see the announcement of future giveaway as soon as the video come out. What I'm going to do now, first I'm going to put a little color in the shadow side. Doesn't need to be the final color. Just tap a little color, test the water first, like on the hair area. I'm going to mix a little gray color. The 3 color together, but it's more blue color, so I'm going to take this color and add a little blue color, a little more. It's the yellow color a little bit too much, too strong, like that. And get a little red color in here. That's a little gray color. That's good. So I'm going to add a little bit more water. Here you go. I'm going to first put it over here first. Even though your brush is big, you only need to use part of the brush if you want to. Okay. Now, you don't need to look at the smaller area. Now I'm gonna come into the forehead. This color is pretty close to what I need, and have the yellow color. And here you go. Just simple. Now when you're painting on to the shadow side, you don't have to be too careful about all the small areas. It's just looking at the shape, focus on the shape, and inside the shape over here, it also have different tone of color in a similar color, but you don't need to make the changes right now. I just want to put the similar color, or say the same color, into the shadow side, and then I would come to do a little bit more of the modifications after. Okay, coming down like this. Look, make a close observation, and then coming to the shadow side of the nose like this. It's good, right? It's actually easy. And I received some comments on YouTube over here saying everything looks simple when you paint it. It's actually simple if you think it is simple. This is not complicated, nothing complicated. Now the face, and separate into the light side and the shadow side. And I can use this similar colors, even though it could be a little bit darker here. I'm gonna put it in the shape here too. Just think about a shape, so you won't be intimidated. It won't be saying that, oh, that's the neck. I don't see the neck, I only see the color. I only see the shape. And now I'm gonna change to a smaller brush. I'm gonna choose a round brush here. I have this number 12 sable round brush. And what I want to do now first, I'm going to take this color, well, the same color, but it's a little bit lighter because I have more water in my brush here. Now I'm going to soften the edge here. So leave the color outside. So this is the edges, and we have lots of videos on how you treat the edges. Watercolors is not complicated. It's very, very easy. Okay, just don't be afraid of it. And I can see a little shape over here too, like that. Now what I want to do, I'm going to pick this color, but a little bit more yellow and red. So this is a little bit brighter orange color. I'm going to use this color and put it into the ear. The ear has a more blood vessel and is brighter. Okay, I got that shape. And maybe a little bit more yellow. Okay, a little bit more yellow, like that. It's good. Now I'm gonna add another shape over here. Just looking for how the shape look like. Right, that's good. And there's some lighter shape in the ear that will come back later. Now what I want to do, I'm gonna get a little red color in here, make it a little bit darker. Maybe take a little blue color in here, and now mix it a little bit darker brown color. Now what I want, this color come back to here now, and this a little bit darker, right? And also in here a little bit darker, but it's, this whole shadow side is still wet, so I don't want to get into that yet. I come back when it get a little bit drier. So I'm going to continue in this area, get a little red color in. A little red color, and right over here, that's a little bit warmer. And also some orange color. Like this. That's good. Now I'm going to get away from this area. I'm going to come down to take this color, similar to the color on the top over here. I'm going to put it in there, but it should be a little bit warmer color in here, so it look a little bit more, a little bit warmer, like this. Coming here and look at the shadow side. Okay, like this, coming through, and give a little bit shape in here, like that. And now looking for, I want you to focus on the overall a bigger relationship. Like for example, and on the bear over here, I want to focus on how the light side and the shadow side create the impression, or say the illusion or the suggestions of the face actually turning over is just rounded. At the bottom over here, I'm going to just use a dry brush just to lift up the edge, so make it a little bit softer. That's good. Like that. That's good. I'm gonna more detail we're gonna add to it later. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna come into the clothing over here. First, I'm gonna have this little color over here. See that it reflected from the face. So this white color actually it has color bounce from the face. Let's put it like skin color, and coming down over here too, and when I have this color as a little translucent coming down here like this. A little bit darker. That's good. And in this area, a little bit more orange color. That's fine. Now I'm gonna add the bigger shape on the jacket. Okay, on this side, I'm just gonna take this gray color and put it on outside over here. Okay, some yellow color in the middle of it, and this is fine. I can use that color. That's the overall color. For this side, I will put the darker tone later. And maybe on this side the same. I'm gonna add a little blue color here. And this on the light side. And I'm gonna add the shape for the catch the shadow a little bit later. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is the good time to do the outside. So try to get all the color in before I go into the smaller shape. So you can see that everything is actually, inside over here I'm gonna add a little purple color. So I'm gonna add the blue color and mix with a little red. Okay. And add a little water, more red. Like this. That is fine. You're not just looking at the colors, also you're looking at how dark is the color. Okay, like this. So the light side, I'm going to use a lifting off technique to make it a little lighter. I'm going to make this a little lighter. This is the light area. And also the edge over here a little bit lighter, like this. Okay, also here a little bit lighter. And actually I like this color better than what the color is showing in the photo. It's a little bit cohesive with the rest of the colors. Otherwise this color could stand out with a very bright purple color, and that's good. So you can see light and dark color. Now what I want to do now, I'm going to use the bigger brush. I'm going to start painting into the background. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to mix some red and yellow color and a little blue to make warm, but it's not very bright. Get a little blue color, present blue. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna put it right over here. That's good. Gonna have some loose here. this. Okay, and that color also carry on over here. Okay, like that, and then down over here it has some little green colors. That's good. I like that color. So you pick up some of the elements from the reference and turn it into part of your composition, like that, and maybe a little blue colors in the middle over here. And of course also on this side. Now the rest I'm gonna make it much darker. So what I want to do, I'm gonna keep using this big brush. I'm gonna take this Prussian blue, much more color, make it a little bit thicker, get a little bit more red color, and this will become a very dark color. And if you think it's too warm, too purple, get a little bit more blue. Now that's good. Now this color pretty dark. Now what I want to do now, I'm going to continue over here. Now the color actually is still wet, so this is good. They're going to merge together, create a little bit more soft feeling. And I'm going to paint it around the ear. Okay, coming down right here. Coming down over here, like this. Okay. And the edge over here a little bit too clean, so I'm going to do something to make it a little softer. You don't want to make the paintings all around, they're all so sharp. Okay, like this. And also a little dark color over here too. And now coming to on this side. Keep thinking about how you feel in this process. Now take a look on this side. Actually, the eyeglass frame can be part of the background, merge into it. Okay, like this. And I can merge the color into the shadow side. That's good. I'm gonna have this actually merge into the clothing. The color a little bit different. Just looking at the big shape. And actually the color change a little bit, have a little bit more yellowish color. And when it get inside over here, so I can add a little yellow color. Like that. By looking at shape, it simplified your attention. It's just, how I'm gonna find that shape. Focus on that shape. It's become very easy for you. That's good. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit darker color, make a little bit darker, a little bit more blue, a little bit of the red. There's 2 dark color in this 3 primary color, and make it pretty dark. Now I'm going over here, have a little bit darker, like that. And under here, have a little bit darker. That's good. And then over here has a little bit darker, but should be have a little bit more like a brownish color feed. So I'm gonna add a little bit yellow color. Okay, here we go. That's good. And I can have a darker color over here too. So you can see when you use a big brush, don't be afraid of it. It's just use the big brush, and the more you use it, you are easier to control it. Okay, now coming over here, have some darker color, and by using a bigger brush, you focus attention on the bigger connection and not the smaller connection. Okay, now on this side, I'm gonna have a little bit smaller, so I'm gonna use the round brush and take this color. Say, okay, now introduce some smaller shape. That's fine, and we can keep it like that. I'm gonna make this a little bit softer on the edge over here, just to break this tension a little bit, like this. That's fine. Now I'm looking at on this side, and actually this colors looks fine. I'm gonna make this a little bit softer. That's it. The rest that looks fine. And over here, I'm gonna, when it's still wet, I'm gonna take this color. That's good. And this color is gonna merge together. This is good. Watercolor is very important, is the timing. And I'm gonna add a little bit orange color on this bottom over here, like this. Okay, that's good. And some red color on the clothing here. I'm maybe just gonna let that go. I'm gonna just take this color like this, a little bit warmer then, like that, connect to a little shape over here, a little shape over here instead of the much darker red color. That's fine. And the bottom over here have a little bit shape like that, break it a little bit because that area is still too big. Now this is good. And the whole painting already covered by the bigger shape. And what I want to do, I'm going to add a little more red colors in the background over here, because it's not about colors, mostly about how the different values together. So, and now this value is closer to the dark color over there. This is not going to jump that much, and also going to carry that color over here too. Like that. And on this side, I'm going to give a little some variety. So as you see, it's not about all the smaller definitions for the nose, for the eye. It's all about how those shapes connect together. Now I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to connect that over like this. Throw a little shape over here. So break the the bigger shape into a little smaller, so it would have it less borrowed. If you're gonna have a big flat shape together, it looks a little bit too important too. Okay, like that. And the bottom over here, I'm going to throw a little bit green color. So I already have the blue color here. All I need is get yellow color. Here you go. This kind of green, that is fine. So in that case, it doesn't really jump that much. If you want to see it more green, that's fine. It's just get a little bit more yellow color here and throw over here. It will become a little bit more green. Maybe that color also should be here too. So make some interesting connection. And the bottom over here too, like that. That's good. All right, now you can see the paintings is almost there. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna get a little bit smaller while we are balancing the outside, and the inside of the face area is already dry, right? So it will be ready for us to going in. First, we're gonna do a little adjustment for the color. Say, if the bigger shape, the color relationship is just not correct, and you don't want to go into the smaller area. So okay, the forehead needs to have a little bit more red. Just put the red color on the top. This is called overlaid wash. So in the head, you analyze it. You say, oh, is that a little bit more red, a little bit more yellow, a little bit more blue? And this is very simple. Like that. Now the color is a little bit more correct. And maybe a little bit more blue, but this area has yellow, blue, and red colors. So you're gonna take this, it will have a little bit more blue color, which is also, you can say, I have a little bit more gray color. Okay, now coming down over here. Now coming to this side. Oh, that's fine. And under here, you'll have a little bit more red color too. Just take the red color in here, because this is the cheek and also the nose right next to it. And here have a little bit darker, also a little bit warmer. You want to do the painting like step by step. It's about doing one connection at a time. The bigger connection and go smaller connection. Have the layer of information down, and then the second layers you have a little bit smaller connection, smaller relationship. Over here I'm going to make this a little bit lighter, just showing a little half translucent on the nose. Okay, that's good. Those smaller shape. Now in here I have a little bit more red, so pick this red color right here. I'm going to put it right here, a little bit more red. Put it on the nose, and I have this red color coming to the light side too, like that. And that's good. Okay, on the corner over here I'm gonna make a little bit darker brown color, so make a little red, some yellow, and a little bit more red, and get a little blue. Here you go. Now I have some very dark color. Okay, I'm gonna make that a little, I think this should have a little bit more red. Get a little more red in here. Yeah, that's better color. I'm gonna put it right in this area. That's considered smaller shape. Like that. And if it's too dark, you can lift up the colors. So I'm going to add a little orange color in here. There you go. I'm going to get bright orange. Now you can see I have the opportunity now going a little bit smaller. And also, when you're painting the portrait, make the likeness. It's not about just the eye or the shape of the eye or the eyelids and the eyelashes, those things. It's about the structure of the muscles on the face and the bone structure underneath. And those we need to represent with the bigger shape first and the smaller shape. Okay. Now I'm gonna give a little lighter orange color shape into the ear area. Here you go. Now you can define a little smaller. Do you feel it's easier to start from big to small? And I think so. But we are not think like that naturally. Okay. So now I'm gonna come back to the hair over here. Just get a little bit more blue into this gray color, like that. Soft, make it connect to. On this side, I can lift up the color to make the illusion of the soft hair coming out. That's good. Okay, now I'm gonna working into the shadow side in the eye area. Gonna pick this color, but a little bit cooler, so a little bit more blue. I'm gonna take this color like this. Good. Now 101. As I said earlier, it looks like a triangle. So you just paint a little triangle in here. Like that. And now I'm gonna go into the mouth. And the corner over here, a little bit darker. Like that. A little bit darker over here too. A little detail here. All you see, they are colors. Now I'm gonna come in to have a little warmer. So I'm gonna pick this color. Or add a little red color in here. Okay, that's good. Now what I want to do, I'm gonna just paint this in here. I think it's still a little bit too dark. I'm gonna get a little bit more red in here. It's good. I'm gonna put it right here, like that. All you need to thinking about is shape. And this shape's a little bit too dark, so make it a little bit lighter. Okay, this is good for now. And the top over here have a little bit this kind of brown color, light brown color. So I'm gonna have that on the top. This overlay wash, step by step, layer over layer. Soften that a little bit, like this. Underneath the chin, the neck is a little bit darker. So I think this is the right color. I'm gonna see. And translucent watercolor is, it can see through all the layers that you're putting on, unless you use very opaque color or you use a very thick layer to the cover. No need to do that, and this is good. I have that over here, and at the same time I'm going to make the very dark color. Yeah, there you go. Dark brown color with the blue color in here. Now I'm going to put that right in here, that smaller shade, like this. Okay. And a little bit over here, drop in a little color, like that. That's good. I'm going to come in over here too. Now define the shape. little bit better definitions. That's good. And maybe in here doesn't really need to be so solid, so you can lift up the colors. Most of the color is you can move it, you can lift it, or you can lighten it. When we're looking at this catch the shadow area, it looks a little flat. Now is the time to continue, develop a little more difference. So we're going to use overlay wash and set a little smaller differences. Like this area, a little smaller, darker shape. And that's good. And then coming down a little bit lower, now we're going to add a little bit red color in here. Everything in your mind can be just shapes. So looking for shapes. And that's good. And that color may be a little too strong, so I'm going to light it up a little bit. And then coming to this side, okay, you can see that a little bit darker on this side, underneath the nose. And now I'm going to pick a little darker color. Now underneath the nose over here, here you go, set a little smaller shape. That's what I mean. It need to be from big and then come to a little smaller. Okay, now a little smaller shape, and over here, and a little bit line under over here. Now set a little bit more underneath the nose, and I need to wash and lift up a little color here. So for the shape of the nose, I just get the color in here a little bit too much, so I'm gonna, this is good. Now looking at on this side, we need to pick a little bit light purple colors, get a little red in here. Good. Now I'm gonna connect this shape looking for how the shape connected. And they need a little bit blue colors. I'm gonna take this, a little blue color, put it over here. That's very well. And I'm gonna set a little bit orange color, yellow orange color for the cheek on the light side. Okay, I'm gonna have this color, make that a little bit brighter. The light side always a little brighter, and over here too. And connect that color up here. Now from bigger shape to smaller and smaller and smaller, and create the structure of the face. It's very important. Now I'm gonna also get into a little brighter orange color on the nose. Make it a little lighter, get a little bit water in it. Okay, that's good. This orange color can overlay all the way here. That's good. Now I'm going to come back to the shadow side. Let's take a look. It needs a little bit darker color and get a little red in here. And on this side I have a little bit more brownish, which is have more yellow. Yeah, like that. That's good. I'm gonna put a little shape over here showing the edge of the eyeglasses frame. And then here you need to have a little bit more red. So I'm going to get a little bit red color. That's good. And then up here in the eye, we see a little bit, not very dark. Can see a little smaller shape. So you start from big and go in a little bit smaller, because the smaller shape and within the big shape. And here too. Oh, that's good. Now maybe the time to do the eyeglass frame. It's not yet. And we have more other things to do. We can do that a little bit later. And soften that a little bit over here. Now we're gonna come back over here to have a little bit dark color coming in. Soften that. I don't want it to look too dry. And now what I want to do, I'm going to use this bigger brush and to lift up the color. I want the edge of the hair a little bit softer. That's good. And over here too, I'm going to make it a little softer. And on the edge over here on the hair, I'm going to put a little bit light brown color. I'm going to have this. Now the value is a little closer to the background color, because I do not want that to look too much contrast. And the contrast is usually more on the values instead of the color. So making sure, watch out to see how dark the color is supposed to be. That's good. And from time to time, you need to come back to use the bigger brush to do organizing the shapes. And over here, I have a little bit more of this warm color here. Let's set that color in. That's good. And this line a little bit too hard, too straight. And what I want to do, I'm going to set a little bit darker color in here, the blue colors, and coming over here now, it make that value a little bit closer to the outside. So that's good. And on the neck, I'm going to use the light orange color. I'm going to set that color over here too. So it's give a little more suggestions between the neck and the beard. All right, I'm going in, and I'm gonna give a little bit and use a little bit smaller this calligraphy brush. I'm gonna set a little bit, look at that, a little bit, like a little bit this kind of color, and set the details on the beard, looking for the small shape. A little bit suggestions, that is what I needed. Good. All right, that's very good. Okay. And now what I want to do, on the top over here, see a little bit skin color on the top. I'm gonna give it just a little loosely, have a little color over there, and you can connect your imagination. I'm gonna make that a little softer edge. Okay, yeah, like this. Okay, now it's just getting there. It's very good. Now I'm gonna do a little bit clarifications over here. I'm gonna add a little warm color, get a little bit ultramarine blue. I'm gonna give a little bit more definitions. Like this too. Okay, an edge over here showing the local color of this. I'm gonna soften that a little bit. That's good. So you can see the three-dimensional feel of this. And now I come back to the button. That a little catch the shadow on this side. Take this color, this right over here. Smaller shape. Like that. And now I want to mix a little bit darker color for a little clear shadow shape right over here. I'm gonna give a little bit darker shade coming like this. Okay, that's good. That. Now on this side, I'm gonna start building a little bit clear suggestions. That's good. Soften that a little bit. Maybe a little overlaid into this area, like this. Okay, now on this side, I'm gonna give it a little bit soft reflected light. So what I would like to do is just use this flat brush and looking for this area, just lift up a little bit color, just a little bit, and create the feeling of the soft reflected area. And on this side, so this way we're showing the shoulder after turning over. It's not like a get there and stop and a little bit too sudden. So the lift up technique is very helpful. Now I'm gonna put back a little bit blue gray color in here. Like that. That's good. Now it become look very natural. And this color can get in under here too, so separate that the shape into smaller shape. That's all right. Now we're gonna get into the face. Now it's ready to do the eyeglass frame. We're gonna mix a little darker brown color. Speaking of the ads in this video, and the ad is how YouTube's making the revenue. I am also in the YouTube partnership, so part of the revenue actually would come to support this channel. So if you see any ad that interests you, that I encourage you to click on it to learn about those product or services. and I'm gonna put the line for the eyeglass frame. Look before you paint. And every support that you can give, that you can do, it help allow me to spend the time in my studio and do more quality video for you. Okay, this I want to make this brown color a little bit lighter. So they're coming over here, see that? Coming down here. Good. Look, observe before you paint. That's good. All you see is just the few lines. It's nothing complicated. If you can afford it, please join us to become a member. It's very important. Your support would help me. Okay, to help you. Okay, now the eyeglasses is there. It's very easy. Now take a look underneath over here. It has some light shade because this looks like this the hair actually is actually cover part of the eyeglass frame. Okay, now let's take a look. What else do we need to do? Oh, I see that on the cheek on this side it had a little bit warmer. Just get a little red color in here. That's good. I'm gonna soften this color transition like that. That looks pretty good. Also over here I'm gonna replace that a little bit brighter red color. First lift up the color first, otherwise the color would become a little bit darker and darker. So I'm just going to put a little red color over here. Now replace the color and create a little warmer and fresh color. And also the tip of the nose over here, I'm gonna, that's good. I'm gonna soften the bottom over here. So you can see here through the process, I never actually talk about let's paint the eye, paint the nose, and even I say it, it didn't really mean for you to focus on the eye and the nose. Actually, to be able to find the visual elements, the shapes and the line in the correct color, correct value, and then you can represent your feeling and observation. And now I'm going to have a little gray color, also showing another directions of the cast the shadow on the nose. I'm going to have it a little bit lighter. Those is make it looks really interesting and dynamic. But this kind of details, you almost cannot do it right from the beginning. It doesn't really connect it to other place until you have all the framework, the connections already built up. And now I'm going to have a little bit darker color over here to connect into that. Let me see. And I think this color a little bit too dark. I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. I'm going to have this shape a little bit softer. Yeah, that's good. I don't want that to become so dominant. Now it has another thing that I need to do is do a little organizing the background. Now it looks like a little bit too much texture in here and in here. So always come back to the big connection from time to time, okay? Always come back, and the big connection is what the paintings really matter. I can remove some of the smaller shape, connect with that. Good. Now it make it a little bit connected. Okay. Okay, that's good. And maybe also have this color on the top over here too, coming through over here. At the same time over here, I'm going to soften the top. Now I'll come to this side. Let's see. Like that. A little bit more pleasant blue. Okay. Here we go. Always focus on the big connection. When we start a painting, we're looking at the big connection. When we're close to finish, we're looking at the big connection. So when you work in the big connection, the big brush is really helpful. I'm going to actually get in over here a little bit more. Now the background a lot more connected. That's good. Now lift up the color again because I have been softened too much. Okay, and the edge over here, I'm going to lift it up, clean my brush. So what I want, I'm going to raise this a little bit higher and the connection over here. A little subtle thing like this is very important because it gives the suggestions where the shoulder actually coming and connecting to the neck. So that's good enough. Take that out. There's a little bit soft suggestions over here. That's good. Now the last thing I would do is to scratch a few lines showing the light area, suggestions of their eyebrows. We don't have to do too much, just a couple lines. Yes, just that's good. And a little bit over here. That's good. And on the hair over here. We don't have to do too much. A couple scratch. That's all you need. Okay, let's see. In the inside over here, I'm gonna decide to give a little bit light orange color one more time, so it's kind of amplified the feeling of the interaction between the face and the surrounding, because the light is so strong and the color interactions is also become strong. So I'm gonna have this a little softer, and also in here I'm gonna have that a little bit lighter. So I think it's a little bit too overdone. Now the painting is finished. Again, we're gonna start product giveaways very soon. If you haven't subscribed, or if you already subscribed but haven't turned on notification, please check the bell icon right next to the subscription button. When I have the next new video published, you will be notified. See you next time.